What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Today I've got a story time for y'all about a kid that accidentally caused an explosion in science class and got the entire school evacuated. Yeah, that's right. Nothing says how to get popularity quick like getting everybody a day off school. Real talk though, guys, I just figured it was a pretty funny story, so I wanted to share it with y'all. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Be sure to press the like button or no joke, no scam. You're gonna blow up your science classroom, and let's get into it.
The sun's down and I'm feeling it right, so tell me, little mama, what you doing tonight? You know I'm trying to hit it, I'm not being polite.
Alright, boys, so this was a subscriber story sent in to my Instagram at Scrubby, so if you got anything that you think's pretty swag, feel free to send it over there. This person is in 10th grade, and I guess in 10th grade, for some reason, they teach you chemistry. I'm not sure why they don't wait till you're like a junior and senior to start allowing you to mix chemicals. Anyways, one day this kid comes into class, and on the board is that they're going to be mixing these certain chemicals, and he doesn't remember the exact chemicals, obviously. There was like a long list, and certain groups had different ones than others. But on the list happened to be like this acid and some other material that didn't react well with the acid. And the teacher takes the time to very clearly say before like they get into this assignment where they're going to be causing chemical reactions, you know, don't mix these two. Whatever you do, don't mix it because it can cause an explosion and we don't want that to happen. Which I will say is probably the worst way to tell a bunch of high school students not to do something. Like, alright guys, I know you are all bored and science class is probably the last thing you want to be doing. So whatever you do, don't mix these two things that would make an explosion because, you know, that would be very, very bad. Realistically, he probably should have just said nothing about those two chemicals mixing and he would have been fine. But obviously, once the teacher goes out of his way to point out that like mixing these two will cause an explosion, there's a couple kids in the class that like give each other the look of, oh, this is gonna be sick. You know, the type of kids that just enjoy getting in trouble for some reason, bro. I'm not saying I was a goody two-shoes in school. I broke the rules. There's a reason I got so many story times about me doing stupid stuff. But there is a level of like, if my teacher said not to do something because it could cause an explosion, I just wasn't gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll sit this one out. Certain rules aren't worth breaking, but there were some kids in this class that just had the idea that like rules were meant to be broken. The only reason they exist is to not obey them. And while sometimes rules are stupid, I'm not denying that, bro. Sometimes they are for your safety, like trying to prevent explosions. So whatever, they all get broken down into groups, and the person who sent in this story happens to be in a group with one of these kids who's like, oh, it would be super funny to cause the explosion. And the group is him, the kid who wants to cause an explosion, and then two girls that like take the class pretty seriously. You know, they care about their grade, they're not really here to mess around. And it becomes apparent right away that this kid who we're gonna call Trevor really wants to cause the explosion. He immediately is like, all right, where's the acid and the stuff he said not to mix? And the girls are like, no, we're not doing that. You do realize if we cause an explosion that like we're gonna get a bad grade. No, we're not gonna do it. And the Trevor kid is like, dude, what the frick frack frigglebottom, bro? Are you serious right now? Like, you really just not gonna let me cause an explosion? And he starts getting pissed off that, you know, the rest of the group doesn't want him to cause an explosion and cause them to get a bad grade. And so he's kind of pouting, arms crossed, like not helping with anything, which nobody really cares about because it's not like this guy would have been much help on the school assignment anyways. But then the teacher calls over the two girls that were in their group because they were basically his teacher's pets to come help him with something. And so when the two girls leave, the guy is like, dude, what should we do? And the person who sent in the story is like, all right, I don't know what you are talking about, but what we should definitely not do is cause an explosion. And when he says we shouldn't cause an explosion, there's like a mischievous smile creeping across Trevor's face, dude, as if, you know, haha, joke's on you, you just activated my trap card. And he just starts taking all the chemicals. They had like different vials and like stuff holding the chemicals and just starts mixing them all into one concoction. He figured that because he didn't know like which chemical was which and was gonna cause the explosion, that if he mixed them all, there was a chance it would work. And obviously, this concoction of all these chemicals and acids and whatnot starts like bubbling and starts kind of smoking, and then like this foam kind of starts building up and just it just looks like there's about to be a situation. So the person who sent in the story just goes, "Get down!" And him and the kid get down and everybody else kind of ducks and the beaker explodes. The only problem then is that, like, the thing doesn't stop reacting. So there's just sounds of, like, broken glass going everywhere, bro. There's chemicals all over the place. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard a chemical reaction. You've probably heard it with, like, hydrogen peroxide on, like, a cut. You know when you can just hear, like, the sss? Yeah, it's like that, but it's filling the entire room. So obviously the teacher is like, "What happened? Everyone get out of the class," like trying to get everybody safely out of the class. So on the way out, he's trying to figure out what happens. And obviously everybody is pointing at the kid who sent in the story. They're like, "He told everybody to get down. He told everybody to get down." So the teacher comes over to him furious, thinking that he was the idiot that mixed all these chemicals that he told him not to. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how hurt everyone could have gotten? Like, what's wrong with you?" And the kid who sent in the story is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. It wasn't me. It wasn't me." And he's like, "Yeah, well, if it wasn't you, who was it?" And the person who sent in the story has this moment where they're like, I feel like I am not supposed to tell on somebody, but at the same time, I don't want to get blamed for causing an explosion in science class. So he told him who did it. He was like, "Dude, it was this guy." And at the same time, he starts telling the teacher what's going on. The two girls that were like his honored class pet students, like, you know, TAs, like they were students that helped him, kinda, are like, "Yeah, we can confirm, like, when we were in the group with him and the kid he blaming kept trying to, like, convince us that we should cause the explosion." So obviously at that point they called the kid over who actually caused, like, the explosion in science class. And of course he's playing dumb. "What? No, it wasn't me. It was him. Why would I do such a thing? I don't even know how to cause an explosion." And that's when the kid who sent in the story is like, "Yeah, I know you didn't know how to cause an explosion, so you just mixed all the chemicals together in, like, one super concoction." And when he says that, the teacher is like, "What?" And yeah, the kid starts explaining that he didn't remember which of the two compounds the chemistry teacher had said would cause an explosion, so he just ended up mixing them all together. Which obviously just is not the right thing to do. Like, thank goodness the school didn't burn down, you know what I'm saying? They had to evacuate the entire school, though, because at that point they were like, "We have no clue what chemical monstrosity this kid could have created." Because there were so many, like, different chemicals that were being used and whatnot, they just didn't really know what he had mixed because he couldn't remember for the life of him. And the person who sent in this story also was not a chemist, so he didn't really know. He just saw the kid mixing all this stuff together. So they ended up having to evacuate the school across the street. There was, like, this community college across the street, and they had, like, a fire drill similar thing as the entire school is getting evacuated. And obviously the boom itself was relatively loud, so rumors are swirling that there was an explosion in school. Rumors in high school spread very quick, so by the time everybody's, like, gathered up across the street, parents are coming to pick up their kids because, you know, they heard that there was an alien abduction and explosions in the cafeteria. Like, the rumors just gotten crazier and crazier. So the administration, the teachers, they're all stressed, like, freaking out, not really knowing what to do. And they decide at that point to call the buses in early and just, like, send students home. They basically ended up canceling school for the day because it was just such a mess. So many people were, like, leaving early without permission, and so many kids were, like, you know, freaking out with all these rumors. And obviously there was an explosion, so a lot of kids were scared, and it was just a mess. So they ended up giving the school the rest of the day off to, like, reorganize. And that evening, what cracks me up is whenever something crazy goes down at school, they always do the phone call, and the way that they explain it on the phone call is so much tamer than reality. Like, the way, you know, it actually happened is some kid that goes to your school is so stupid, he thought just mixing every chemical known to man would be a good idea. But the phone call they sent home to everybody was like, "Today, during an educational, informational, fantastic presentation in a chemistry class, one of our academic students, who has maintained a high grade point average and swagtastic academic record, caused a minor accident which led to an explosion. Like, they always try to make it sound so much better than it actually was, bro. I'm telling you, a lion could get loose in a school, like, decapitate 14 students, and they would be like, today during Safari Day, we had a very interactive experience with a live animal from another continent. Sadly, though, that animal juxtaposed its overwhelming anger by ripping the heads off of a few students. We do send condolences to any families that were affected. You can pick your kids' heads up in the lobby of our school tomorrow between noon and 2 p.m. or after the bell. Alright guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. On screen now is actually a gift card. I give one of these away in every single story time as a way to just say thank you to everyone subscribed with notifications on. So if you don't have those on already, you might as well subscribe and turn it on because I'm giving away free money and you got nothing to lose, and it really does help out the channel. If you are one of the people that already is subscribed with notifications on, I really do appreciate it. You guys help out the channel an absolute ton. But yeah, on that note, I'll get back to the story. Subscribe, turn on noties, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time when you get my notification. Anyways, the parents are obviously confused, so they start asking the kid what happened, like if he's okay, what went down, and he was there. So he starts telling his parents about the situation at hand. And his dad is like, all right, well, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, bro. It's just kind of stupid how dumb this kid is and how he's still allowed in chemistry class. I will say, bro, after the kid kind of causes a school-wide evacuation after mixing every chemical, it's probably time to just remove him from chemistry, give him an F, and move on with your life. I don't think being a scientist was in your future, Mr. Trevor. Anyways, the next day, bro, at school, they end up going into chemistry class. And when they go in there, he's looking around at the tables that they were using, and one of the tables is gone. And the teacher sits the class down and basically explains that, you know, until the end of the year, a couple students are gonna have to use normal desks because due to the incidents yesterday, like the heat at which, you know, the chemicals had been reacting and the chemicals had like burned a hole through the middle of the lab desk that they were using. So they ended up having to get rid of it, and it wasn't in the school budget to buy another one. So for the rest of the year, 2 kids had to do like all their science experiments on a normal desk, but the only problem is it's chemistry. So like you kind of do need a big desk just to have all your materials on it and whatnot, you know? It's not even necessarily that like you're gonna burn the school down with one desk. It's that where are you gonna put all the stuff you're trying to use while you're using just a tiny little school desk? The guy really did end up boofing the class for a lot of people, but I will say getting a day off because some idiot in your school caused an explosion is a pretty crazy story, especially because the rumors didn't end there. Like the rumors just got crazier through the year, and the kid who actually did cause the explosion like almost refused to talk about it, which didn't help. He was just so embarrassed at his stupidity that whenever people would like talk to him to quote unquote get to the bottom of it, he would just act really weird and sus, which didn't help the fact that like a bunch of people already thought that, you know, the official story didn't make any sense. It had to have been a deeper story. The school's having a cover-up. Anyways, dude, to this day, I guess around school, people talk about the great explosion of 2019, which is pretty funny, bro, in the grand scheme of things, to just be sitting there, like, hallucinating about the fact that there was some outlaw at your school, when in reality, it was just some kid with so few brain cells that a light bulb barely operates under his brain power. But, yeah, anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button and let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. It helps out the channel a ton. If you don't know what to comment, just go ahead and comment the word Hot Wheels down below. That'll do it. And yeah, if y'all want more content, I do have a podcast called The Scuffed Cast. A link to that can be found in the description, along with a link to the intro song if you enjoyed it. The Spotify link's down below. And last but certainly not least, the other link you can find in the description is a link to the merch store, which is pretty swag-tastic if you ask me. If you got any crazy stories, you can send them into my Instagram, which is just @Scrubby. The Twitter is @Scrubby_69. I do think you should follow those as well, but of course I'm biased. And yeah, on that note, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.